It's the top 10 most expensive cards of all time. Today, we're counting down the biggest sales in sports card history.
My name is Geoff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me and my team as we help you profit from the hobby we all love.
Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to the top 10 biggest sports card sales of all time. You are about to see some absolutely incredible holy grail cards that have sold for millions of dollars. We're counting down the biggest of the big today. And no matter if you have a holy grail card of your own, or even if your collection is just worth a few bucks, you probably still want an awesome way to display your collection. Check this out. These stand-up displays are absolutely awesome. And if you go to standupdisplay.co right now and use promo code SCI, you're gonna get 10% off your order of their standard stands. Again, go to www.standupdisplays.co right now and use promo code SCI for 10% off their standard stands. All right, let's get going with the top 10 biggest sales of all time. We're starting today's list with a bonus honorable mention, a complete set of 2009 National Treasures basketball that sold for $3.3 million. Yes, it was one of the biggest card sales in history, and it would have made our top 10 list if it was a single card, but this was not a single card, this was a complete set. It was a private sale brokered by PWCC in January of 2022. It is a 112 card set of National Treasures basketball that includes the RPAs, the rookie patch autos from players like Steph Curry, of course that's the big one, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Blake Griffin, and Drew Holiday, and of course, many, many others. They were all in that complete set. Each of those cards individually is extremely rare and extremely valuable, but when you package them all together as a complete set, that's where you get $3.3 million as your price tag for this incredible set of 2009 National Treasures basketball. Two other honorable mentions are the 2009 Steph Curry National Treasures 1-of-1 Rookie Logo Man and the 1914 Babe Ruth card. The valuation of both would have put them on this list, but they weren't bought in full. Alt purchased 51% of that Curry Logo Man at a valuation of $5.9 million. And Collectible offered the 1914 Babe Ruth as a fractionalized asset at a valuation of over $6 million. In the number 10 spot, Honus Wagner and his famous T206 card in PSA 3 condition. This card sold for $3.25 million in a private sale brokered by Mile High Card Company back in October of 2020. Now the T206 is considered one of the hobby's most iconic sets, and Honus Wagner's T206 is especially rare, with only about 50 of them believed to have actually been distributed to the public. Wagner demanded that his card be pulled from circulation. Now, no one is exactly sure why, but common stories include the fact that he felt like he was not being compensated properly for his image, or perhaps he had a dislike of tobacco and didn't want to be on cards distributed by a tobacco company. Or maybe he didn't like the fact that these tobacco cards were being used to market towards children. And some people believe that he just simply thought cigarettes were a low-class form of tobacco compared to other forms of tobacco. But no matter what the reason, this Honus Wagner T206 card in PSA 3 condition, extremely rare and extremely valuable. In the number 9 spot, guess what? It's the exact same Honus Wagner card because it was later resold for even more money. This card in PSA 3 condition that was originally sold in October of 2020 for $3.25 million was then later resold for $3.7 million to real estate magnate Kurt Rappaport in a private sale through Heritage Auctions in December of 2020. Seems like every time one of these Honus Wagner cards sells, the price just goes up and up. In the number 8 and 7 spot, we've got a tie. Another Honus Wagner card plus a Wayne Gretzky card that set record prices. First, that Honus Wagner card. This one was just in PSA 2 condition, but it sold for $3.75 million through Golden Auctions back in May of 2021. And then the Wayne Gretzky card. Wayne Gretzky's 1979 O-Pee-Chee PSA 10 card sold also for $3.75 million in May of 2021 through Heritage Auctions. Now, this Wayne Gretzky is considered to be the most important hockey card in existence because there are only 2 of that card in PSA 10 condition in existence. Only 2. Unbelievably low population. So if you want one of those 2 Gretzky rookies from O-Pee-Chee in PSA 10 condition, it's gonna set you back millions. Now, of course, Gretzky's rookie cards are interesting because they were both created by O-Pee-Chee and Topps. The design looks very similar. O-Pee-Chee distributed the cards to Canada, whereas Topps distributed the cards to the United States. It is the Canadian O-Pee-Chee version that has the most value and is the most rare. But the Topps versions, they can be worth a lot of money as well. It is worth noting that the blue borders on these cards, as well as just the design of the card in general, gave it plenty of production and quality control issues, and that's why it is extremely tough to find this card in a decent grade. There's lots of challenges with this card, and that's why there's only 2 PSA 10s in existence and only a little over 90 PSA 9s in existence of this Holy Grail Wayne Gretzky card. In the number 6 spot, it's Mike Trout and his iconic Superfractor, the 1 of 1 from 2009 Bowman Chrome. This card sold in BGS 9 condition for $3.9 million in August of 2020 through Golden Auctions. At that time, it became the most expensive sports card ever sold. It was sold by Vegas Dave. He originally purchased the card for $400,000 back in 2018. Now, despite being relatively young, Trout has quickly become one of Major League Baseball's GOATs, and he has been a GOAT in the hobby for years. Many people chase his cards. Some would tell you that maybe only LeBron James is a safer long-term investment among athletes that are active today. Baseball card collectors and investors love Mike Trout, and this is surely a Holy Grail card. In the number 5 spot, we're going to football, and we're going with Patrick Mahomes and his 2017 National Treasures NFL Shield Auto 1 of 1. The Holy Grail card for Patrick Mahomes. This one in BGS 8.5 condition sold for $4.3 million. That sold in July of 2021 through PWCC. It set a new record for the most expensive football card ever sold. The previous record for a football card was $3.1 million for a Tom Brady's Playoff Contenders Championship ticket auto that had sold back in March of 2021. The buyer was LJ's Card Shop in New Albany, Ohio. The card shop owner called it a piece of art and said they wanted to build the best modern day card collection. Well, this card certainly gets you on your way to doing that. Mahomes even reacted to the card sale himself, simply by saying, "My goodness," on Twitter when that card was sold. The card is a unique combination of one of the hobby's safer investments for a young superstar from an iconic set. And of course, it has the NFL Shield patch, a fairly high grade, it's autographed, and it is a one-of-one. And when we talk about a player's most iconic cards, things like the National Treasures one-of-one is often what we think about for those modern players. In the number 4 spot, it's the Luka Logo Man. The 2018 Luka Doncic Logo Man one-of-one from National Treasures. That card sold for $4.6 million in February 2021. It was a private sale announced on Instagram by esteemed card collector Shine. Now, this card features a unique combination of one of the bright young stars in basketball with one of the most iconic sets. And the one-of-one Logo Man is the best card from that set. It doesn't get much better than that. In fact, it doesn't get any better than that. And if Luka is able to continue on and become one of the GOATs, then this card will likely continue on in value and be recognized forever to come as one of the most sought after cards in ultra-modern card collecting. By the way, if you want to see the moment that card was pulled out of a pack for the very first time, you can find that moment in the Hits app. The Hits app is our app here at Sports Card Investor where we feature the biggest hits from the biggest breakers, and we've got that hit in the app. You got to check it out. It's free. Just go to the App Store on your phone and search for Hits Card Breaker. Again, go to the App Store on your phone, search for Hits Card Breaker, download the app, and you can search and filter by Luka to see that moment and many other incredible Luka pulls. In the number 3 spot, actually tied for number 2, is LeBron James. You knew he was going to show up on this list. And how about this 2003 Exquisite Collection card? This is an absolute grail for LeBron James collectors. This is his RPA, his rookie patch auto from 2003 Exquisite, number to 23. This in BGS 9 sold for $5.2 million in October 2021 in a private sale through PWCC. Now, at the time, that tied with the next card you're about to see as the most expensive card ever. It still stands today as the most expensive basketball card ever. Exquisite Collection is widely considered one of the most premium sets of all time, and it's known for its fantastic designs as well as its high-end patches and autos of all-time GOATs. So to take one of the most iconic sets of all time and to put LeBron James rookie card in it, number to only 23, you can imagine that card is going to set an all-time record sale. Tied with LeBron at $5.2 million is the iconic 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card in PSA 9 condition. And I'm a little surprised this card is only on this list once because it is considered by many to be the most iconic sports card of all time. Certainly one of the cards that every vintage collector seeks after. This 1952 Mickey Mantle PSA 9 was purchased in February 2021 by Rob Go in a deal that was brokered by PWCC. At that time, it set the all-time record sale price. And if you're curious to learn about Rob and why he purchased that particular card, we actually did a video about it. An interview with Rob on our Sports Card Investor channel back in early 2021 after that record sale was announced. This example previously sold for $2.8 million back in 2018, so that's pretty nice appreciation over the course of just a couple of years. Now, of course, the 1952 Topps set is often credited as one of the most iconic sets in the hobby, but this is wild. There's actually a few of this card in PSA 10 in existence. So this PSA 9 sold for $5.2 million. What would the PSA 10s sell for? None have hit the market recently at all. If one of the PSA 10 copies ever hits the market, and the people who hold them, I'm told, have no plans to sell them anytime soon, but if one ever hits the market, it would likely sell for tens of millions of dollars and easily set an all-time record for sports card sales. All right, before we get to the number one card, let me remind you that you cannot find these cards inside the Sports Card Investor app because they're just too rare and valuable. But you can find hundreds of thousands of other cards that are a little more affordable to people like you and me. So check out the Sports Card Investor app. It is in the App Store, it's free, and it is the best way to check out all of the amazing cards and search for just about any card by just about any player. Download the Sports Card Investor app on your phone by searching for Sports Card Investor in the App Store. All right, it's time for the number one card. Are you ready to hear the most valuable card of all time? Let's go. Number one on the list, he's back, Honus Wagner, in the number one spot with a $6.6 million sale of his card. This one in SGC3 condition. It sold in August 2021 through Robert Edwards Auctions. This particular example, believe it or not, sold in the early 1970s for just $1,100. And it wasn't graded. It wasn't graded until 2012. It went from $1,100 in raw condition in the 1970s to $6.6 million in 2021. Absolutely incredible. Now, it had actually sold in between. It sold after being graded in 2012. It sold for $1.23 million. And then it was sold again for significantly more in a private sale before setting that new all-time record in 2021. And we already talked about Honus Wagner and why his cards are so rare and so sought after. They have had such a place in card collecting lore for so many decades that it is only fitting that a Honus Wagner card is number one all time on today's list. But it probably won't stay there for very long. The question is, what will knock it off in the number one spot? It's not going to be long till you see some other headline. Will it be a Mickey Mantle? Will it be a LeBron? Could it even be a ultra-modern player of some type? Who knows? But it's exciting to see. We're going to sit back and watch what cards break all-time records. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and that little bell icon. We really appreciate it. And go download the Hits app and the Sports Card Investor app in the App Store. Go do that now. And don't forget to check out stand-up displays at standupdisplays.co and use that promo code SCI for 10% off your order. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back in a few days with our next video.